You all are gonna meet a guy that I have a strong connection with. His name is Kerry.
She used the word strong.
Yeah, I feel like he has it together. He's mature.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Okay, that's slight note at the end. Let's do it. Yes. No, that was off. Yeah. Yeah. One the thing, man. Alright, listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you what? Like, share, subscribe. For those of you returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, you're mad, a gay. Listen, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, whoa, Chile, you better get your ass out. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, whoa, Chile, you better get your ass out. Listen, don't make a schoolboy error, you get me? Listen, we're going to talk about Kerry and Alexis. Oh my gosh. Chile. Listen, this was so interesting. Just breaking this down was interesting. Kerry and Alexis. Kerry is just giving me, you know what I'm saying? Give me all of that sweetness.
Yeah, I feel like he has it together. He's mature, and you know that I'm used to immaturity. So tonight is the night.
It was interesting, obviously, because we get the premise given to us by Alexis, saying about the fact that, she's talking about she's used to immaturity of these men and wants a mature man, and that's where Kerry comes into play. That's where Kerry's, ability here to woo her is going to be accepted here because he shows an air of maturity and has his stuff together, is established, and I can see that she would go there because if she wants an established life where it's just there's stability, there's a consistency there, then it's going to be Kerry, and that could work. But we'll talk less about that because I don't know too tough there. What was interesting for me was that obviously that she mentioned about Jarret's her best friend, and Jarret, I don't know where I've seen him before. I'm not sure what show I've seen him before, but I've seen him before. She mentioned about Jarret and the fact that that's her best friend, and he doesn't believe, quote unquote, doesn't believe anyone's good enough for her. Now,
And Jarret, he is my best friend, and I believe that he feels that nobody's good enough for his best friend.
I don't think he's gay, so I'm wondering why he thinks nobody's good enough for her. Either she's got a very poor taste in men, or what she has mentioned, or maybe he thinks he's the only one that's good enough for her. But that just me just shining a bit of light. I didn't see any particular behavior that said anything otherwise that he may fancy or anything like that. I didn't see any of that type of behavior. But what I did see was his position in the group, and how respected he is within that group. And we're going to touch on that a little bit later. What was interesting is the way that obviously Kerry was obviously described as. He's described as obviously being mature, sophisticated, and that she feels that she can learn something from him. And like I said, always, when it comes to relationships, you want to be able to be a master in certain areas. This is why I say certain guys find it hard to, I guess, be with a woman that earns more than them, because it's not the money necessarily that's the problem, it's the mastering of the field. You see, if I earn 50k but I'm a master in my field, like I'm tip top, and you earn 100k, and we'll just put it slight numbers, and you earn 100k, but you're not top of your field, I might feel better about myself because I know I master my craft. Like, if you want this done, you know that no one else can do it better than me. So therefore, you're not on my area. Where I think a lot of guys are is that they have similar roles to the female, and maybe she earns more, and it's like she's mastering the craft better than you're mastering it. So then there's an ego battle. Yeah, because men want to master stuff. That's what they want to do. Men want to be a master of stuff, and when they're not, they feel insignificant. And so for even me now, I'm trying to master YouTube. I'm trying to master do my videos and do my things, being a master of what I talk about, being a master even as a Christian and just being who I am. But all of it is a mastering. I'm trying to master it, yeah? Because there's a level of attraction that comes with mastering something. That's why girls like power, because the person who's powered is mastered the level they're at. They're top of the profession, yeah? That's why a president becomes sexy, not just because of he's a president, but he's mastered the politics. He's a top chandelier. Everybody can see him. He's a candle that is at the top of the hill, and everybody's watching him, and that's attractive, right? So sometimes when someone's got that mastering of knowledge, mastering of wisdom, that can become a very attractive trait to an
That culture interest.
Kerry is very sophisticated.
Okay.
He's far removed from childish behaviors. And you know, in my past, I've dealt with guys that there was an immaturity gap. I feel like I was raising these guys. And with him, I feel like I can learn something from him. And I think for his age, he looks good.
What's the age gap?
He's older?
Yes.
How much
Like,
older?
what's
How
the
much,
difference?
like, how
Why
old?
are you looking like that? Like, how much older?
Do you know like how old the guy is?
He's at least 20 years older.
You know, Kerry, I mean, Alexis also then mentioned about the fact that there's an age gap. And she said, obviously, she's cool with the age gap. I don't think she is. I think that she understands that there's an age gap and probably would be willing to work for it, but I know that she's not 100% sold on it. Why? When you mentioned it to your friends, you couldn't do it with your chest. How do we know that? You looked into the bottle. Yeah? When you're opening the bottle, you were looking into the bottle as you were saying it, because you knew it was going to be a sticky one, right? But if you had it with your whole chest and you didn't care, you'd have been like, listen, he's 20 years older than me, you know. Yeah, I like 20. He's sophisticated like this, and I like that. Yeah? You wouldn't have to defend yourself. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say I like a girl, I'm like, listen, the girl's from here, yeah, she's pretty, fam, she's funny, she's like this, she's that, she's that, she's that. I'm not even gonna try and defend it. Oh, you know, but you know how, no, I'm making an exception. No, this girl's fire, bro. It's how she is, bro. I like her style, I like this, she does this, she does that, and I'm feeling it, bro. That's what I'm about. Do you get me? Yeah, no, so that's what I noticed about her when she did that. And I believe that obviously that there is, you know, as much as confident as Alexis is, there is a shyness to her. There is a need for approval, which everybody needs. No matter how much you try to pretend as if I don't need validation from people, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, all of us want validation in some sense. You get me? In terms of our decision making, you know. We may make our own decision. We may come to our own thing and may disregard other people, but we still want a validation of our opinions, our thoughts, and our decisions that we do make. And that was interesting to see, you know, her head dip when she actually mentioned it to the group as well, which obviously, you know, comes from the fact that you may feel like you're going to be judged, or there may be some words which will be said against your decision. You know, you don't want no one to question your decision, right? Because you always want to make sure that your decision is tip-top notch, and you always feel like your decision making is correct. And so, you know, it was interesting to watch her like that. Kind of dip her head and not be as confident as we normally see her in her normal surroundings. That's the fact that when Kerry came in, Kerry is somebody who, you know, is strategic. He is. This is what he did with the Kerry thing, and he did it with the Reva thing, which was the strategic move. He does something which is really strategic, and he's trying to, I guess, acclaim power in there and try to set a precedence. When he meets Jarret, the guy.
What's up, brother? We ain't gonna hug, we gonna dap it up like
That's
that.
right. I like that. That's right.
Yeah, he hugs the girls, but when he meets Jarret, he said, "Oh no, we're gonna spud like this, we're gonna dap her like this, or whatever." Yeah, no hugs here. Yeah, and that was nothing to do with the fact that they don't do hugs here. That was a play like, bro, I'm still young, I still got the game, and I still can settle a man. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't look at me as an old man. I'm regulating, yeah? Because later on, he gives him a hug.
I definitely feel that I left Alexis and her friends with...
You get me? So what changed? What changed was position. And the position that he acquired whilst in the den. Before the den, he has to set a precedent. So what he does with the guy who's in there, because he knows he's going to get the most trouble from the guy rather than the girls, he sets a precedence by spudding him, you know, giving the handshake thing, but not giving him the hug that he did, like he did at the very end. It's a set of precedence, and to show him that he's not scared, that he's coming here and he's coming to take it all. Nothing that you can do to stop me. I was alright. It's quite a show-off comment, because he actually didn't look at Jarret when he said it. He said it to Alexis. He was almost like boasting that, look, I've still got it. Listen, you know, we dapper right here, you know what I'm saying? And he does this. We dapper right here, man. We ain't gonna do no hugs right here, you know what I'm saying?
What's up, brother? We ain't gonna hug, we gonna dap it up like
That's
that.
right. I like that. That's right.
That's how we do, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the way he did it, because for him, again, he's showcasing that, you know what? I regulate things. I'm in command. I'm in control. You know, and it's almost like I feel like he's got a bit of a teacher vibe about it, in the sense of like trying to control younger kids almost, trying to control the classroom kind of thing, and has to stamp his authority over everything. You know what I mean? That's how I felt a little bit. They asked him a question about having kids and stuff like that and legacy. And then again, he's coming to do it again. Look what he does. He said, you know what, let me answer the question. He said, let me give you an answer. And he says, obviously, you might be interested in this young bird. And again, I don't want to say belittling, but I want to say that regulating. Yeah? He's trying to put the young man into place.
Let me give you one word.
Okay.
And brother, this might be a learning tip for you. One of the greatest ways to leave a legacy is through your own seed.
Ooh.
Because when I leave here, my legacy is going to continue to speak years and years after I'm gone.
Let him see that, listen, I'm nothing to play with. You understand? Because the answer he gave about the seed is my greatest. Fam, it wasn't no great answer. Fam, that was a basic answer, bruv. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm highly... Maybe I've heard so much game before from my guys that when I heard that answer, I was like, that's basic. Like, they said it was deep, and I was like, that's basic. What? My kid's gonna be my legacy, and when everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it to him. And I was like, bruv, that sounds so normal. Like, your kid is obviously your legacy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna bear your name. Like, that's obvious. But they took it on as so profound and deep, and then he actually directed it to Jarret as well. And what was interesting is the way that the girls were like, especially the girl in orange, she was like, ooh, and then, but not only that, but it was the way that obviously Jarret was also behaving, because during the course of that bit of conversation there, his hands over his mouth. And, I noticed my own behavior the other day when I was talking with a friend, and I noticed that when the conversation was getting a bit like, and I didn't want to say anything, I put my hand over my mouth. Not that I was going to say anything, but it's actually a subconscious thing you're doing to put a hand over your mouth, say, don't say anything. And almost like you're saying, don't think anything stupid. Don't think anything that you don't need to say. Don't say anything. So that's what he was doing, covering his mouth, that he wasn't ready to talk just yet. He didn't want to talk just yet. So that's why his hand was over the mouth, which is quite interesting.
Hold on, but how old are you?
I'm 51.
51.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that the girls looked at Jarret, or the way the girl in black looked at Jarret at the time when he mentioned what he mentioned, I feel like maybe Jarret is the immature one, and almost like it was like her look was almost like a side swipe at him to say, listen, are you listening? This is what a maturity looks like. You've been behaving immature. We've been telling you this is how you look like, right? And that's how it almost felt like when she gave him that look. And I wasn't sure if that's what she was directing at him. And I feel like maybe I'm wrong. The girls, if they can comment, if they see this video and they can comment, I feel like they see him as the immature person in the group, right? He's an immature young boy friend who is funny and and gives you vibes, you laugh, but he's too immature for you to actually date. Yeah, like he's cute, but I can't date him. He's immature. Yeah, and that's how I felt like they were looking at him. Yeah, like the baby of the group. And obviously, like I said, because he was holding his hand over his mouth, it just meant that he was primed and ready to listen, but then he was ready to also attack when ready. Yeah, he was ready to answer questions, because when he does go to ask questions, his hands move away from his body, and then he asks the questions. Yeah, because like I said, this was a defensive move to make sure he doesn't say anything that he doesn't need to say, not to interrupt when he doesn't interrupt. It was just a kind of subconscious mindset coming through his body language to show that, listen, I shouldn't talk just yet. This ain't the part I talk. And then obviously, then eventually, Jarret actually then adds on, how old are you? Jarret actually adds, how old are you? And you notice that the arms become free. He begins talking again. And as he's asking that question as well, just watch the girl in black. She's giving him one stink eye, bruv. Because at this point, once Kerry had said about the legacy thing, which they know that is the prime and key thing that Alexis likes, legacy. They had already started accepting Kerry. They've already started backing off Kerry, yeah? They're no longer fighting anymore. They're no longer trying to stop Kerry. But Jarret is only the one that's standing in the way now. So now when Jarret's standing in the way, remember, I don't particularly think they see him as a mature individual, and it says on their level of maturity. So when he asks the question in the group, it's almost like, this young boy's asking questions, man, he doesn't know what he's talking about, kind of thing, right? That kind of vibe, right? Because if he was well respected, that look that she gave him would have been more a case of, okay, look, let me listen to what he's saying, that he's actually maybe speaking correctly, Jarret. But the look was like more like, keep your mouth shut, you're immature, keep quiet, you don't know anything, That's the kind of look that I was seeing from the girl in black. It's not a custom thing. It's just a mindset thing because you can think it and not say it, but that's how it's coming across.
Like, don't you want to like enjoy your life, have fun?
Well, I believe I could have fun with the woman that I'm married to.
I'm just saying, man. If I was 50-something, I ain't having no more kids, man.
Listen.
And when Jay asks about if I was 50, I wouldn't want any more kids, etc., etc., and Kerry obviously replies by saying, you know, the right woman, etc., etc. I felt like when he made that comment, it just further ingrained the idea that he's not that mature. Because the comment that he made was like, yo, like, if you're 50, you wouldn't have kids. It's like, yo, bro, that's why we say you're not mature. You understand? That's why we say what we say about you. Why are you thinking like that? And that's how I felt what they were looking at him like. And at one point, the girl in orange even looked at him like, you know, like she was looking at him like Jarret, like Jarret, keep quiet, man. Do you know what I mean? And it was interesting. I was watching that as well. Especially when he said about, especially when, oh, let me not go too far. And for me also, I think it's something interesting because if he's not mature, why is he in her friendship group? If my hypothesis is correct and he's not mature, why is he in the friendship group? And I think our answer comes from the Jimmy situation. Why did she want Jimmy when Jimmy also had an immaturity problem? Why does she want someone like Jimmy? And I think the reason is because though she may be mature, there is a side of her that likes fun. There's a side of her that isn't mature. There's a side of her which is playful. There's a side of her which just that she doesn't want to conform to maturity. She doesn't want to be grown up. And so that's why maybe Jarret's still around. Maybe that's why she still entertained Jimmy. You understand? Because evidently there was something about them that made her feel that way. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like there's some part of her which resonates with Jimmy, resonates with Jarret. And if they both were immature, that could be it. That there's a part of her which is immature. It's not matured. There's a part of her which she feels like, fam, she still wants to be able to flex in that area. And I'm not saying it's a negative or positive. Rather, it's just something that we all have. We have many different sides of us, and that we present, and that we like, and that we love, and that we don't like. And I feel that's one of the sides that Alexis maybe hasn't shown as much. Even though Kerry went on to say that, obviously, no, whenever I speak about her, it's always about maturity and, you know, she's like this, she's like that. And Jarret quite rightly said, how do you know that, bro? Like, how do you know that? You only met her for a short while. And then he said, obviously, and then that's when the girl in orange, that's when I knew for sure they don't rate his talk. The girl in orange said that, but he's saying everything that we've said. Yeah?
She's solid.
But you don't know that though yet.
Is that not accurate?
You gotta get to know her first.
But obviously he knows enough because he's spitting out the things that we know about her.
Because trust me, if I thought she was immature, I wouldn't be here tonight.
Right.
I don't do girls. I do grown women. Flat out, period.
All right, we'll give you a couple points for that.
Even though, listen, let me tell you something. When I speak in a group, and girls give me the opportunity to speak about something like a relationship issue, they don't often question me like that. Do you know why? Because they respect my opinion. And my word holds some gravity. This is not a boast. This is just, like I said, when you're beginning to master a certain area, and people think you're mastering an area, they give you more room to speak, and they give you more leverage. And your word holds more weight and gravity. So when he said what he said about, you know, he doesn't really know her, and both Alexis and the girl chipped in, that let me know what they thought about his opinion. Null and void. Yeah, your opinion is in here. It's not really that leveled. There's no offense to him. It's just the way that the way the group works. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way the group works, the way the group is. I can suspect that Alexis has control over Jarret. When I say Alexis has control over him, meaning that she conducts how the relationship goes. He cannot get too close. If he does, she will definitely stop the relationship. As long as she's in control of that, she's happy with that. Jarret can be there. He's funny. You know, he's vibrant. He's fun. You know, they can go out. They can eat. They can catch 2 jokes. But she ain't gonna never let him get that close. Trust me on that. He made a point about the maturity as well. You know, the girl, I think the girl in the orange was like, all right, we'll give you points for that, But at that point, he had won. At that point, he had won the room over. They were now engaged. They were now on board. At that point, they had now been swooned over by what he has said, because it confirmed that, do you know what, this guy is serious and he's about this life. All right, cool, we rock with it. Do you get me? He had won at that point. Now, Jarret didn't feel that way, I know that. But the girls would definitely had won over a long time already. And I think Jarret sensed that. That's why he even asked the question about the 50-year-old and because he sensed the girls were just easily falling in to agreeing with him. And that's why even he said, you know, Kerry even said himself, like, you know, he knew that the young gun was, you know, waiting in the tracks to try and to give him one bang, verbal bang, and then...
Or take one person to change the game. Jay kind of lay back in the cut for a minute, and then he made his move. And, you know, hey, do your thing, brother. You know, let me work on these other ones. Let me...
Girls had shown their hand about Jarret, and Kerry had shown that obviously he'd trumped the top of the pile. So now he can shake his hands, give him a hug. Why? Because mission has been accomplished. Ain't no reason why I need to set pace anymore. I've set it already. It's done. You get me? So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and make sure you comment down below. Let me know your thoughts going into this episode. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, we'll talk in the comment section. You get me? Appreciate you. Stay locked and loaded. Busy!